Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 motorcycles no one is walking into dealerships for anymore 2026. Number 12, BMW R18. The BMW R18 entered the cruiser market with enormous expectations. BMW invested heavily in retro styling, premium materials, and one of the largest boxer engines the company has ever produced. Yet despite all that effort, the motorcycle has struggled to generate the kind of dealership traffic many expected. One reason is simple: buyers have become far more selective about large cruisers. The market for heavyweight touring and cruiser motorcycles is not growing the way it once did, and the R18 finds itself competing against brands with decades of cruiser heritage and loyal customer bases. Another challenge is the motorcycle's overall size and weight. Many riders who admire the R18 online or in a showroom become less enthusiastic once they experience how much motorcycle they are actually dealing with. For everyday riding, some buyers find lighter alternatives more practical and easier to live with. Price is another obstacle. When buyers reach this price range, they often begin comparing multiple premium cruisers, and the R18 does not always come out on top. Some riders simply feel they get more value elsewhere. The BMW R18 is not a bad motorcycle by any means, but declining interest in heavyweight cruisers and strong competition have made it a model that fewer buyers seem eager to bring home in 2026. Number 11, Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster arrived with a lot of promise. It was supposed to attract younger riders, modernize the Sportster formula, and introduce new customers to the Harley-Davidson brand. But in 2026, it is not generating the kind of dealership traffic many expected. One reason is identity. Traditional Harley buyers often prefer larger touring bikes and classic cruisers, while younger riders comparing middleweight motorcycles have no shortage of alternatives from Japanese and European brands. The Nightster ends up stuck between two groups of customers. The styling has also divided opinions. While some riders appreciate the modern approach, others feel it lacks the classic Harley character that made previous models so desirable. Price is another hurdle. Buyers entering this segment are increasingly focused on value, and many feel there are competing motorcycles that offer similar performance and features for less money. That makes the Nightster a tougher sell than Harley originally hoped. Another issue is practicality. Riders looking for long-distance comfort often move toward larger Harley models, while those seeking lightweight daily transportation frequently find cheaper alternatives elsewhere. The Nightster is not a failure, and many owners genuinely enjoy theirs. However, shifting buyer preferences and strong competition have made it a motorcycle that fewer people seem excited to walk into dealerships and purchase compared to just a few years ago. Number 10, Triumph Trident 660. A few years ago, the Triumph Trident 660 was one of the hottest motorcycles in the middleweight segment. It offered attractive styling, a premium badge, and an approachable riding experience. But in 2026, it doesn't seem to be creating the same excitement it once did. Part of the problem is competition. The middleweight category has become crowded with strong alternatives, giving buyers more choices than ever before. What once felt fresh and unique now has to compete against motorcycles that offer similar performance, technology, and value. Another issue is that the Trident sits in an awkward position within Triumph's own lineup. Riders willing to spend a little more often find themselves looking at larger or more feature-packed models, while budget-conscious buyers frequently move toward less expensive Japanese alternatives. Some buyers have also criticized the motorcycle for being a bit too safe. While it does many things well, it doesn't necessarily dominate any particular category. In a market where riders are increasingly looking for something distinctive, that can make it easier to overlook. The result is a motorcycle that still earns respect but doesn't generate the same urgency it once did. Many riders admire it, yet fewer seem ready to immediately sign the paperwork. The Triumph Trident 660 remains a solid all-around motorcycle, but growing competition and changing buyer expectations have made it a bike that attracts attention without always converting that interest into sales. Number 9. Indian Scout Bobber. The Indian Scout Bobber remains one of the best-looking cruisers on the market, but looks alone are no longer enough to keep buyers lining up at dealerships in 2026. One challenge is that the motorcycle has been around long enough that the initial excitement has faded. When it first arrived, its stripped-down styling and aggressive stance felt fresh. Today, many riders already know exactly what it offers, making it harder to generate the same level of demand. Another issue is practicality. The Scout Bobber is designed primarily around style, and some buyers eventually realize that other cruisers offer better comfort, more passenger accommodation, and greater long-distance capability. As motorcycle prices continue rising, buyers are becoming more focused on versatility. Competition has also intensified. Riders shopping in this price range have more choices than ever, including cruisers, naked bikes, and adventure motorcycles that provide broader functionality for similar money. None of this makes the Scout Bobber a bad motorcycle. In fact, many owners absolutely love it. The problem is that admiration and dealership sales are not always the same thing. The Indian Scout Bobber still turns heads everywhere it goes, but fewer riders seem willing to prioritize style over practicality when making a purchase in 2026. Number 8. Harley-Davidson Pan America. The Harley-Davidson Pan America shocked the motorcycle world when it first arrived. It proved Harley could build a serious adventure bike and compete in a category many thought was completely out of reach for the company. But in 2026, the excitement surrounding the model has cooled considerably. One reason is the nature of the adventure bike market itself. Riders in this segment tend to be extremely brand loyal, and many have spent years riding motorcycles from manufacturers that have dominated the category for decades. Convincing those buyers to switch remains a difficult task. Another challenge is pricing. Adventure motorcycles have become increasingly expensive, and many shoppers are becoming more cautious about spending premium money on a motorcycle they may only use occasionally for long-distance travel or off-road exploration. The Pan America also faces a perception problem. Even though it has earned praise for its capabilities, some riders still do not naturally associate Harley-Davidson with adventure riding. That creates hesitation among buyers who automatically look elsewhere when shopping in this segment. The Harley-Davidson Pan America remains an impressive motorcycle with a loyal following. But the combination of fierce competition, premium pricing, and changing market demand has made it a bike that attracts plenty of attention while generating fewer dealership visits than before. Number 7. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R has always been a motorcycle that appeals to a very specific type of rider. Its muscular styling, huge rear tire, and aggressive stance make it impossible to confuse with anything else on the road. The problem is that the number of buyers looking for that type of motorcycle appears to be shrinking. While some riders love its aggressive appearance, others view it as a motorcycle that feels stuck in a different era. Modern buyers increasingly favor motorcycles with broader appeal rather than machines built around a single styling statement. One challenge is changing market trends. Many riders who once shopped for large power cruisers are now looking at sport tourers, adventure bikes, or performance-oriented standards that offer more versatility without sacrificing excitement. Another factor is practicality. The motorcycle's size and weight can be intimidating for newer riders, while experienced riders often find lighter alternatives easier to live with on a daily basis. Price has become another obstacle. As ownership costs continue rising across the industry, buyers are paying closer attention to value and long-term usability. That has made niche motorcycles like the M109R a tougher sell than they once were. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R still has a dedicated fan base, but the market has shifted significantly, leaving this once popular power cruiser with fewer buyers walking through dealership doors in 2026. Number 6. Triumph Rocket 3. The Triumph Rocket 3 is one of the most outrageous production motorcycles ever built, but that might also be part of the reason fewer people are buying one in 2026. The biggest challenge is that the Rocket 3 exists in a very small niche. Most riders admire it, talk about it, and enjoy seeing it in videos or showrooms, but actually owning one is a completely different decision. For many buyers, it simply feels like more motorcycle than they realistically need. Price plays a major role as well. Once a motorcycle reaches this level of cost, buyers start looking at a wide range of alternatives, including luxury touring bikes, premium adventure motorcycles, and high-end performance machines. The Rocket 3 suddenly becomes a much tougher purchase to justify. Another issue is practicality. The bike's enormous size and intimidating presence can make it difficult to use as an everyday motorcycle. Many riders want something versatile enough for commuting, weekend rides, and longer trips, and the Rocket 3 is often viewed as a specialty machine instead. The Triumph Rocket 3 remains one of the most impressive motorcycles money can buy, but admiration does not always translate into sales, which is why fewer riders seem willing to take one home from a dealership in 2026. Number 5. Indian FTR. When the Indian FTR first arrived, it felt like something completely different. It broke away from traditional cruiser styling and offered a performance-focused personality that attracted plenty of attention. Unfortunately, attention and sales are not always the same thing. One of the biggest challenges facing the FTR is identity. It does not fit neatly into any single category. It is not a cruiser, not a sport bike, and not a naked bike in the traditional sense. While that uniqueness helped it stand out initially, it has also made it harder to attract mainstream buyers. Another issue is value perception. Riders shopping in this price range often compare multiple motorcycles before making a decision, and many end up choosing models that offer a clearer purpose or stronger reputation within their segment. The FTR has also struggled with visibility. While enthusiasts know exactly what it is, casual motorcycle buyers are often less familiar with the model compared to more established competitors. Market trends have shifted as well. Buyers increasingly want motorcycles that can serve multiple roles, and some view the FTR as a machine designed more for fun than practicality. The Indian FTR is still one of the most distinctive motorcycles available, but its unique character has become both its greatest strength and its biggest challenge, leaving fewer buyers willing to sign the paperwork in 2026. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S generated enormous buzz when it launched, but in 2026 it is no longer drawing buyers into dealerships the way Harley probably hoped. A major reason is expectation versus reality. The Sportster name carries decades of history, and many traditional Harley riders expected a modern version of the classic formula. Instead, they got something radically different. While some embraced the change, others never fully connected with it. The motorcycle also sits in a difficult position within Harley's lineup. Riders looking for a traditional cruiser often move toward other Harley models, while performance-focused buyers frequently cross-shop motorcycles from brands that have spent years dominating that category. Price has become another obstacle. At its current cost, buyers expect a motorcycle that checks every box, and many struggle to justify the Sportster S when competing options offer more comfort, practicality, or versatility for similar money. Another challenge is its niche appeal. The aggressive styling attracts attention, but not every rider wants a motorcycle that prioritizes bold design over broad everyday usability. As a result, many people admire it without actually purchasing it. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S remains one of the most eye-catching motorcycles in Harley's lineup, but a combination of high expectations, strong competition, and limited mainstream appeal has made it a tougher sell than many expected. Number 3. BMW K1600B. The BMW K1600B is an impressive motorcycle by almost any measure. It offers luxury, comfort, technology, and serious long-distance capability. The problem is that the number of riders shopping for a motorcycle like this is getting smaller every year. One challenge is the price. The K1600B sits firmly in premium territory, and that alone eliminates a huge portion of potential buyers. When a motorcycle costs this much, customers become extremely selective about where they spend their money. Another issue is changing rider demographics. Many buyers who once preferred large luxury touring motorcycles are aging out of the market, while younger riders tend to gravitate toward lighter, more affordable, and more versatile machines. The bike's size can also be intimidating. While it feels fantastic on open highways, many riders simply do not want to manage such a large motorcycle for everyday use. Modern buyers increasingly favor motorcycles that can handle multiple roles rather than specialized touring machines. Competition has intensified as well. Adventure motorcycles have become the default choice for many long-distance riders, pulling potential customers away from traditional touring models. The BMW K1600B remains a phenomenal motorcycle for the right rider, but shrinking demand for heavyweight luxury tourers has made it a model that fewer people are actively shopping for in 2026. Number 2. Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger is widely respected as one of the best bagger motorcycles on the market, yet surprisingly, it is not attracting dealership traffic the way many people would expect in 2026. One reason is simple economics. Premium touring motorcycles have become extremely expensive, and many riders are thinking twice before committing to a machine that can cost as much as a small car. Even buyers who love the Challenger often hesitate when they see the final price. Another challenge is the shrinking heavyweight touring segment. While these motorcycles still have loyal fans, the overall market has shifted toward more versatile options. Many riders now prefer motorcycles that can handle commuting, weekend rides, and touring duties instead of focusing almost entirely on long-distance highway travel. The Challenger also faces strong competition from both inside and outside its segment. Buyers considering a premium bagger often spend months comparing options, and many never reach the point of actually making a purchase. The Indian Challenger remains an outstanding motorcycle, but rising prices and changing buyer preferences have made it a model that earns plenty of respect while attracting fewer new buyers into dealerships. Number 1. Kawasaki Eliminator. The Kawasaki Eliminator arrived with strong potential. It offered approachable performance, cruiser-inspired styling, and a price that looked attractive compared to many larger cruisers. Yet in 2026, it has not become the sales success some expected. One issue is visibility. In a market filled with adventure bikes, sport bikes, and larger cruisers, the Eliminator often struggles to stand out. Many buyers simply overlook it while shopping for motorcycles in similar price ranges. Another challenge is positioning. New riders frequently gravitate toward motorcycles with stronger name recognition, while experienced riders often want something larger, more powerful, or more specialized. That leaves the Eliminator stuck in the middle of the market. The motorcycle also faces competition from multiple directions. Buyers looking for comfort can find larger cruisers, those seeking performance can choose sportier options, and riders wanting versatility often end up considering completely different categories. Perception plays a role as well. Even though the Eliminator is practical and easy to ride, some buyers see it as a motorcycle they might outgrow quickly, which pushes them toward larger machines from the start. The Kawasaki Eliminator is a solid motorcycle with plenty of strengths, but limited market excitement and intense competition have made it one of the bike's fewer shoppers seem eager to bring home from dealerships in 2026. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.